Former President Goodluck Jonathan has issued a cautionary call to political actors, security agencies, and the judiciary, urging them to avoid actions that could worsen the political tension currently brewing in Rivers State. The tension stems from the local government election recently held in the state, which has sparked a political crisis. In a statement posted on his Twitter account on Saturday, Jonathan voiced deep concern over the unfolding situation, stressing the importance of peace and stability of Nigeria's democracy. The former president appealed to all stakeholders, especially state institutions, to ensure that democratic principles are upheld by conducting peaceful and credible elections. He also advised political players to exercise caution and patriotism in their quest for power, noting that the crisis in Rivers State bears a striking resemblance to the political unrest that shook Nigeria's old western region in the past. And to discuss this, we're joined by legal practitioner Valerian Nwadike. Good evening. Glad to have you join me on the news. Okay.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
All right. Let me kick off by asking what mechanisms are in place within the Nigerian judicial system to prevent conflicting judgment from being issued by different courts on the same matter.
I want to start by stating clearly that the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, Chapter 1, Part 1, Section 1, Subsection 3, stated clearly that the Constitution is supreme and that its provisions are binding on every authority and persons throughout the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And if any other law is inconsistent with the provisions of the Constitution, that law, to the extent of its inconsistency, remains null and void. So why am I saying this? Federal High Courts and State High Courts are courts of coordinate jurisdiction, meaning they have the same power. So if State High Court issues an order, you don't need to go to Federal High Court to bring a contradictory order. You just have to go to Court of Appeal to appeal the order you got that was gotten from a State High Court. So when anybody goes to Federal High Court to counter an order that is coming from State High Court, it amounts to judicial rascality. And this is also the words of the NBA President, Maza Famosigo SAN, who in his message to lawyers yesterday clearly stated that he is so ashamed of whatever that is going on. People should not be ridiculing the judiciary, and I feel the Justice of Supreme Court, who is the head of NJC, might have to, do something about these conflicting judgments or these acts of judicial rascality.
Now, what do you think, or in what ways can conflicting judgments during political crisis, such as the one we have in Rivers State, affect stability and also credibility of democratic institutions in Nigeria?
Obviously, when there is conflicting judgment, it creates crisis because people want to, enforce whichever judgment they feel favors them. And that is not what we need in our fragile democracy. So the easiest way to solve this issue is the persons or the agencies that takes judicial activity need to sit up to their responsibility to ensure such conflicting judgments are discouraged.
Okay, now, you talked about the NJC intervening in this conflict of court judgments we have between the State High Court or the Federal High Court. But looking ahead, what way indeed can they ensure that there is uniformity and also, stern measures put in place by them to ensure, there is that uniformity within the judiciary system?
Yeah, everything still boils down to us legal practitioners. We should do our due diligence before heading to court to get an order or a ruling. because we are all stakeholders in the judiciary. And when the judiciary is being ridiculed, the entire judiciary, when it is being ridiculed, people lose faith in judiciary, and it's not good for the country. And it can actually cause unrest, like what is happening in Rivers State. People protesting, some people saying that judgment of court must be enforced. All these things are avoidable if lawyers, because I believe every lawyer understands the rules. When there is a judgment or a ruling by a state high court or a federal high court, you go to court of appeal. You don't head to another court of coordinating jurisdiction or concurrent jurisdiction to get a conflicting ruling. It can amount to forum shopping. It's obviously judicial rascality, and it's ridicules the entire judiciary, which is unfair to our democracy.
All right, thank you so much for your expertise on the news. Valerian Nwadike, legal practitioner. Many thanks indeed for your time.